It's recording now.
Okay.
All right. Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back, guys.
Another week, another Saturday, another podcast. Well, Saturday to us, maybe Monday or Tuesday to you.
Well, last time we did it on Friday.
Okay, Friday or Saturday.
Well, today's Saturday.
Yeah,
We
today's
did Friday
Saturday.
last time. Okay, cool. Dude.
So what are we gonna talk about today? And I guess just the debate.
Well, there's
Or-
the debates, the fact
And
that Trump has coronavirus.
Trump has coronavirus, and
and
just I don't know, whatever
random
comes up.
stuff, yeah.
I feel like we could talk a lot about the debate and how convenient Trump got the COVID right after the debate.
What do you put
Not convenient, but like a coincidence. Do you think it's a coincidence?
Like, in what way, though? Do you think Trump did it on purpose or, like, they gave it to him?
I don't know.
No, but, like, when you say coincidence, like...
Yeah, it's like
What
it's
should
so
you relate it to?
it's the debate.
No, but
How
on
it's
which
like
side?
or
Like, do you think Trump did it to himself or do you think Biden did it to him?
I don't know.
Or the
I didn't think
That deep?
deep into it. Okay. All right, cool. Welcome to the Byron and Brian Conspiracy Show. Play the theme song.
Why are you laughing at me fucking drinking my thing, bro?
I'm not laughing at you. I'm just laughing because I'm laughing.
Anyways. All right, so let's start with the debates.
That was a fun debate.
Dude,
I thought it was really entertaining.
You see, I feel like so I guess to start off with the serious topic, I feel like this is just goes to show how bad of a setup they have current debates. Like, like, can you
I
imagine?
guess so.
Imagine being in a fight and like saying, okay, you hit him for 2 minutes, but in those 2 minutes, the other guy can't hit you back.
Mhm.
And then the person on the right side says, okay, now for 2 minutes, you hit the guy on the left, but for those 2 minutes, that guy can't hit you back.
Yeah, but like I see what you mean, but
Like, it just doesn't work.
I feel like there should be two portions of a debate where I think I think it's reasonable to give someone 2 minutes to speak,
I do think
right?
it's
So the other person could like absorb what he's saying and kind of like defend himself or comment on it.
That's reasonable if you if you allow for the next person to go back though. But like I noticed that sometimes it's like Trump wanted to like come back at Biden and Biden wanted to come back at Trump and it's just like the moderator was
Dude,
like,
that was just such a mess.
yeah, the moderator was like, no, you can't. I'm like, why can't he like rebuttal whatever the guy said? And then I feel like at that point it's gonna be like a constant thing of them rebuttaling each other, right? Kind of like the way Joe Rogan put it when he said that if you ever had them in a podcast for a debate, it would just be like a 4-hour long thing of them just talking.
That's like more
interesting, right?
reasonable,
That's
but
interesting.
yeah.
Obviously, they're like talking all day. You can't do that right now because there's so many candidates and there's so much time and all this shit. But I just feel like it's more reasonable, and I feel like we'll learn a lot more about the candidates if we actually have them. Just
Have like a freaking
discussion.
4-hour discussion, but at the same time, there should be a moderator that tells them like,
Well, that'd be Joe Rogan at that point.
did Joe Rogan be the best?
Obviously, he's gonna be like, no, wait, chill, guys, chill, or like something like that, right? Like if anything gets too out of hand. But yeah. Anyways, but on the side note, I thought that show was pretty funny.
Dude, I thought it was really entertaining.
That was meme
A
worthy.
lot of my friends really didn't like it, and
I mean,
thought the world's gonna be doomed.
I don't think.
I was like,
dude.
no, I just thought it was just funny.
But it does really make you think about like who's running our country right now.
That's true.
Like honestly though, like if you really look at it, it's just like who's really running our country. Like the whole time, all I heard is Biden say "man" like a million times. Come on, man, stop it, man. Shut up, man.
For me, Biden was trying to talk to us mostly. He's like pointing at the camera and it's like, you gotta vote.
But I feel like-
it's
I feel
voting
like-
is important, but
Yeah, that really brought out like what kind of speaker each person is, though, right? Like Biden is a like career politician, right? So he's used to talking to the cameras and like doing all that stuff. Trump isn't really used to that.
he's like a businessman.
Trump's a businessman. He's like he has a different background. So Trump's way of talking is a back and forth thing, dialog Biden's way of talking is I'm talking at you. Trump's way of talking is like I'm talking with you, right? Which is two different ways of people talking, and I feel like that really came out because if you notice, like I really feel like Trump really fucking demolished Biden every time that they had like a back and forth.
Yeah.
If they were able to have a back and forth, I feel like Trump just fucked up Joe Biden every time.
Well, because he's really good at like interrupting.
And no, but he's also good at rebuttaling.
I guess
Like Trump is one of those people that if you call him a bitch, he'll be like, "You're a bitch. Well, you're a skank." Like the way you would like.
I
say
guess
next
that's
level.
his. Yeah, that's his
And that's his
strategy.
character, right?
He also
But then,
well, how should I say? He goes a little bit off topic too. Like
yeah.
he derails from the topic. I mean, I guess it's good for him.
yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know
I
either.
kind of. I mean, I just feel like that it just really showed their two way of talking. Because when you, like I said, I think Trump demolished Biden when they were like having the back and forth. But the second that Joe Biden kind of had the camera to himself and stuff like that,
Yeah, he had a
you're
lot
just
of
like, oh, he's not that bad, I guess. He's like, he's not that
he had,
stupid.
like,
He's so stupid, but he's not that
good points.
Yeah.
Some good points. I don't remember them, but I remember
Yeah.
he was. This debate, Biden was talking pretty coherently.
Dude, I think he was on drugs, dude.
Probably it looked like, I don't know. To me, it probably did because have you seen
I
him
saw one
talk?
picture. I saw one picture, and his eyes just look so big. It just looked like his eyes were dilated, right? And normally, when your eyes are dilated, it's because you're on a drug.
Maybe because it's a dark room,
Maybe.
or I don't know.
I just felt like he was on drugs. I don't know. If he really
Probably,
is.
I think so too. To be honest, because
feel like,
his
yeah.
past interviews and talks, they were he was just stuttering.
That shit just really makes you think that, like you really gotta imagine of like. I'm just one of those people. I just don't know how people could vote for Joe Biden. I hate to say it, I just don't know how people could vote for. I get it. Like some people say, I just don't want to vote for Trump. Like a vote for Joe Biden is a
Yeah.
vote against Trump. But some people legit love Joe Biden.
I don't love Joe Biden, but to me, I don't want someone like Trump to run the country. That's personally for me.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
I kind of do just because I just feel like him being that person that like interrupts and is able to interrupt. I
You
just feel
kinda like that?
I feel like he's that person that keeps his composure.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't know. You can kind of tell in those debates where Biden is kind of like throughout the whole thing he was just like getting mad, like more mad, and stuff like that. And it kind of shows that he's not that composed of a person. Well, on the other hand, Trump is the person that's like just constantly the same exact way the whole time.
Are you saying that Biden, like, he could blow up at any time?
Yeah, and I feel like that's
He can't really keep it in.
yeah, and I feel like that's something that you learn as either a businessman or like a politician that you know at some point you got to kind of hold your emotions and I don't really think Trump did that. I don't think Biden did that. I don't think Trump did it that well either, but I think Biden really kind of showed his emotions a little too much and like obviously when you're dealing with other countries and like foreign policy and stuff like that, I feel like you can't show your emotions that much, right?
I guess not.
Like
You
part
shouldn't.
of deal making is that
Yeah.
you gotta be able to like, you know, be a good deal maker. You know, show them like if they can make you a really good deal, you don't wanna seem too surprised because then you wanna make sure that they know that that's not where your cutoff point is. I don't know. That's just the way I feel about Biden. I personally would probably rather have Trump in office.
I think there's some. My dad, surprisingly, I think I told you recently. I came home and he was like, "Your ballot's in the mail." I'm like, "Cool." And I asked him, "Who's he voting for?" He's like, "Trump." I don't like Biden. I'm like, "You don't like Biden?" He's like, "Yeah, the way he stutters and shit." I'm like, "Damn, that was really surprising."
I just feel like I don't know. Biden to me, bro, Biden just seems like a really crooked person.
I think so too.
Trump has his features, right? Like Trump has his things where obviously he's like a rich person, and he only paid $750 in taxes and all this shit. But I just feel overall, I think Trump actually cares about people. When Biden talks about caring about people, I just don't feel it. I just feel like he's literally doing it for clout or for like votes and shit.
I don't know. He's old. What does he need?
Yeah, I mean, he literally he's been in office for 50 years. You know, he's surprisingly not really done much, and now he's saying I'm gonna do so much. I just don't see it. I don't know. I just don't see.
I don't know.
I don't
why.
see the what do you call it? I don't see the
the reasoning behind why he's in.
not so much reasoning, like his motivation. I don't see his.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
see him being a motivated person to do the things that he is actually talking about.
Maybe
I
that's
really
so-
feel like he's a person that's running so that when he dies, Kamala Harris can become president.
Huh. I don't like one thing about Kamala Harris is the.
Oh, that she's the prosecutor.
Yeah, I just don't like that. I
I
don't
really
like
don't
that
like that.
about her.
I
So,
mean, Joe Biden kind of did write that 1994 crime bill, didn't he? Or 1994, 1984.
I don't know.
It was like the bill for the war on drugs that allowed for people to get arrested for drug crimes. It's the reason that we had. So there was this thing a long time ago where it was 5 grams of crack is the equivalent to 500 grams of cocaine as far as
I
imprisonment.
slightly remember that.
Yeah, so I feel like Joe Biden had that against them, I guess. And it's the same way. I feel like those two candidates are just not good. And I feel like everybody that's voting for them, or like majority of people that's voting for them, are literally just not voting for Trump. Like they're doing it to not vote for Trump.
I'm mostly voting for like the laws within California. I feel like that affects us the most.
I feel like that's important.
That's important.
We were talking about that last time. I feel like the laws in this country or the state are important. Like,
I read some of them, and well, I glimpsed through them.
what are some of them?
I have it. I have the packet actually.
The sample pack.
Sam. Oh, what the fuck? What is this?
Kanye West is on there.
Really?
Yeah, as for vice
I
president.
think in like Arizona and Texas or something like that, they didn't allow him to be on the ballot. Some states. I forget.
I saw Kanye West and I was like, huh, he's
That's good,
actually
though.
on here.
I feel like that's good though, because if a candidate's running, he should be allowed to be on the ballot, right?
I guess so, yeah.
Like it should be unconstitutional not to allow, even if it's Kanye West or somebody that you think is incompetent.
He's running with some businessman.
All right, here you got your city and local district members, board of transfer or trustees. Okay, right here.
You want some cookies?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. You want some pop chips?
Pop chips, like the popcorners,
I'm just gonna bring you some.
the jalapeno ones,
No, I have the kettle corn.
kettle corn. So we got I just feel like all these are kind of bad, like in a way. Like rent control, tax rules.
Random cookies. Some popcorners.
Wait, what? Those look pretty good. That fat ass cookie looks really good.
Yeah, get one.
Huh?
Get one.
Can we cut this out?
No. Oh, I mean, like, if it's silent, then,
I might just get like, oh my god, it's just so hard though.
yeah, I think it's been in there since August.
What the fuck?
It's still good.
Why did I put that in my mouth, bro? You just said that.
These are good too, but they're a little soft.
They're real good.
Right?
But
What are you talking about? Joe? No, the laws.
state ordinances, so like state policies. I feel like a lot of people, like last year there was this one bill, it's like Prop 6, I think. With
Prop 6.
So Prop 6 was used. It was a bill that allowed the government to add new taxes to oil, to barrels on oil being transported into the state, without approval, without a vote, basically. So if the state wanted to put a new tax on barrels coming into the city or to the state, they can, and ultimately that would affect the price of gas, right? So they did that, and supposedly they were supposed to bring in all this money for city projects such as like highways, bridges, all that stuff, and it just never did show up. And I'm like here, and it's like it was like 4 years later actually, It's 4 years later, and that bill is still there, and we haven't really seen any of the benefits from it. But I'm just like, people were like saying like, oh, let's vote for it, and Caltrans was even voting for it. Well, no, they're campaigning for it using taxpayer money. And there was like a big whole like scandal with it because Caltrans was they're not supposed to do that, right? Because they're a government company, they're state run, so they're paid by taxpayer money, so they can't put any political opinions on like campaign or anything like that.
I
They
see
can't
what you
support a
mean.
political campaign because they're paid by taxpayer money. They can off their own time, but not while they're as a company. I don't know. There was a whole lot of fucking corruption going on there. And then I don't know. I just feel like overall, it's like I feel like we should pay more attention to what's going on locally, and really read the bills for what they are. You know, not to say, oh yeah, that bill's good because it's gonna bring in all this money. Like every time I think this bill's gonna bring in money, I'm just like the government doesn't produce any money because it can't. They get it from taxes. So every time they say we're gonna get more money,
Are they getting more from
they're
taxpayers?
getting more from taxpayers.
Well, that's PP.
So that's why I'm like saying. I think even the COVID, which is the
Stimulus bill?
stimulus bill, I think even that's coming out of your taxes at some point. I think it's like an advance on your taxes. So you may have to pay that back at some point,
No, that's
or you may just be paying it back in taxes.
that's fucked.
Yeah, dude, it's all bad. Or like, but yeah. Actually, can we go back to the debate? I want to talk about something.
Yeah.
Dude, one thing that kind of got me upset, I was like, all these like news people were like saying Trump hasn't disavowed white supremacy. It's just like,
Or he didn't really he didn't really address it, right? Like he just derailed from that topic.
well,
So he didn't really specify. He didn't really. He didn't. I'm losing my words.
if we look back, we could see it. The transcript, and the transcript is like this. So, Chris Wallace, I think it's Chris Wallace. I forgot his name.
Chris Brown.
The moderator basically said, you know, would you be willing to disavow white supremacy and tell them to stand back and I guess not go into those cities where all this stuff is happening? And he said sure, and he said sure, and then Trump was like, but I think all the violence is coming from the left wing people, which I believe it is because it's like Antifa and like, you know, even some people from BLM, which are like right, or not which are like
Or just people
violent
who just riot people.
yeah, they're from BLM, but obviously not everybody from BLM is rioting, and a lot of them are peaceful protesters. But just saying, some of the BLM people are rioters, and that's a problem. But I think majority of the riots that's going on, the violence that's going on, is coming from left-leaning activist groups.
Okay.
Ultimately, so but anyways, so that's what he said. He said they're coming from the left, and then he's like, and then they stopped and he's like, but will you disavow white supremacists? And he said, sure. And then he said, what do you want me to call them? And then he said, and then George Wallace said white supremacists, and then Joe Biden screamed out Proud Boys. And then Trump said, okay, Proud Boys, stand back and stand by. And then he said, but I think somebody has to do something. But here's where the issue comes in, I feel, is like, have you seen the Proud Boys? Do you know who they are?
I know their leader is some Canadian dude.
Oh,
They're-
you're
they're-
talking about Gavin McInnes?
Yeah.
He's not their leader.
He's not. Did he make the Proud Boys
Well, I don't think so.
or so-called leader?
I don't think he's their
Or he's
leader.
like a spokesman?
He's like he's a spokesman probably. But I know he's not their leader.
big cult.
Gavin McInnes is
Not
fucking
a big
awesome,
cult, like
dude.
more like a big fraternity.
He's fucking awesome. Yeah, it's a fraternity. It's supposed to be. But anyways, have you seen the people that are in it?
They're like white college dudes.
Hmm?
College dudes. They
But have
look
you
like
seen
they're
what
in
they look
college.
like?
No.
Dude, a lot of them are brown,
Brown, like Mexican.
like Mexican.
I'd never noticed.
Yeah, dude, there was like this picture, right? That they put a Proud Boys, and then they were like, okay, which one is a white supremacist group? Because they put it right next to Antifa. Everybody from Antifa's white. And you look at the Proud Boys. Let me pull this up real quick. Look at this shit. Look, all three of them right there are Mexican or like Hispanic. So like that's the thing is that I feel like that's what really upsets me. Is just like I feel like they're calling this group white supremacists and far right, when in general, have you ever seen a fucking white supremacist that's brown?
No.
It's not a thing. There won't be a white supremacist.
What will be called?
I don't fucking know, dumbass. Who the fuck is a white supremacist? They're brown. Who the fuck does that?
There's been. I remember there was an Asian dude that was a white. Like he labeled himself as a white supremacist.
Yeah, because he's a dumbass. It's the dumbest thing ever. But like I just feel like there's a lot of misinformation in that statement where he said Proud Boys to call them white supremacists or to like even put them in the same bubble.
I guess he's just categorizing Proud Boys as white supremacists.
Yeah, yeah.
Majority of them.
I don't even think majority of them are white supremacists.
Or they just want to join because it's like a big fraternity.
So the whole thing for Proud Boys was what they said is it's a place to teach men how to be men. That's what they said. So they're basically like,
Maybe Joe just blurted it out because he just like one of those blurt outs.
but they believe it. That's the problem. Is that
What-
the media, the left wing media, actually does believe that the Proud Boys are white supremacists, and they've talked about it in multiple things.
Well, I don't know much about the Proud Boys, so I wouldn't.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that a large portion of them are Mexican. There got some black people in there, so I just don't think that they're really a white supremacist group. I wouldn't consider them that. It's like it's the craziest thing ever for them to even talk about it like they are, you know. Like I'm telling you, if you ever would look at them and you look at what they do, they're not white supremacists at all. And a lot of them, what they did is they joined because Antifa was obviously like boycotting all these areas, and they were like beating up people with Trump masks or with Trump hats. So like "Make America Great Again" hats. People were like beating them up, or like taking that shit off their head and like stealing it from them. So the Proud Boys created the Proud Boys in order to fight that back, I guess. So they would go to all these places, and they would fight them if anything started. So like I guess their whole thing is we're here just in case, right? So if something were to happen, we're gonna step in.
There was a video on Hood Sites apparently is a Proud Boys guy that said that they'll wage war if Biden becomes president. What do you think of that? They just saying shit,
They're fucking idiots.
or he just one of those outliers
No, I think that's how I feel.
that one of those outliers that just thinks he's all that and makes Proud Boys look bad.
So Proud Boys are like they're a provocateur group. So they cause a lot of things to happen. So they'll go into these places and they'll provoke shit, right? But the whole point of the Proud Boys is that, or the whole point of my spiel behind the Proud Boys is that they're not white supremacists.
Okay.
They're just a bunch of stupid people that do stupid shit. And TBH, bro, if anybody that was BLM or anything like that told me to take off my hat or came at me and screamed in my face because I didn't put my fist up in there, they're catching hands, bro. Like that's the way I feel about it, because like if any, like let's say you're wearing a Trump hat and somebody just comes up and like slaps you for wearing that hat.
Or we just wear a different scenario where you're just wearing a hat that says something.
Yeah, let's say
someone takes it off.
Let's say somebody takes it off.
Like if you're a Dodger fan and I'm a Lakers fan or some shit.
Yeah, like how will you feel about that? Somebody comes
Yeah.
up to you and just like randomly takes that shit off or something.
I'd be like, hey.
Like they're catching hands, right? Like
Yeah.
that's not my whole point. Is like I feel like a lot of them are stupid and stuff like that, but I just feel like their actions they have a cost to them. So their cause, they're justified because of the fact that Antifa's burning shit and they're doing stupid shit. It's like you gotta protect
Everyone's
yourself
doing
at some
stupid
point.
shit.
I feel like it's the left mostly. I feel like it comes from Antifa mostly, and it's just the fact of like people. They're saying, "Oh, well, they're called Antifa because they're anti-fascist," but they're not anti-fascist.
And Antifa the people that are in that group are, they look weird.
Yeah, dude, totally. No, but yeah, so I just feel like that's like that was like one of my biggest like beefs with that is like all the news cycles and everybody was like saying, "Oh yeah, Trump didn't disavow it." I'm like, he has on multiple causes actually, so like multiple cases. So when that Charlottesville thing happened, he said that there was good people on both sides.
I think so.
So prior to that, he had said And I'm not talking about the white supremacists because they should be disavowed completely. And I think on one of his things, he even disavowed, what's his name? David Duke, he was like a Grand Wizard of the KKK. And I think Richard Spencer is the alt-right person who like literally did the Nazi hail, and they just came out that they're supporting Joe Biden. That's my whole thing. Is just like I feel like there's like nothing there. Is just
Dude,
like
everyone just
making
need
any
to
sense.
relax.
Yeah, dude, I totally feel like it's just not that deep, right? It's just, I feel like he's done it. I just feel like there's a lot of lies going around, you know?
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't think there's a lot of lies, Brian? You don't think like
Oh, I don't know. It's a mess. Everything's a mess.
totally, dude?
Do you think Donald Trump getting COVID was a coincidence, or he just got it because he got it like every other person?
Honestly, I don't know, dude.
It's really uncertain, right? Do you think like someone from the Democrat side or just anyone gave it to him, or he's kind of faking it, saying that he got COVID?
See, this is my thing. It's just like I feel like both sides are benefiting from it. That's the ultimate
Because
thing.
it's getting a lot of attention.
Not just that, dude. You're just like, okay, look at this. So, how healthy would you put Trump in? And like, how healthy do you think Trump is?
I don't know, but he
doesn't look very healthy,
He
right?
doesn't look healthy.
They
Like
did like this article where he doesn't drink water. I guess instead of drinking water, he drinks
Coke.
Diet Coke.
Diet Coke.
Yeah, it's just like if Trump, being the fat ass that he is, the person that like doesn't really work out, and you could tell that he's not in shape, and he's really old.
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't die from COVID, it's gonna make him look like a really strong president, like a resilient president.
So you think this is a setup?
I don't know.
It's really hard to say.
And then on the other hand, Trump literally just said in the last thing that Biden wears, mask every time, and that he was making fun of Biden for wearing a mask.
And he didn't get COVID.
And supposedly he did. I don't know. Maybe Biden does have COVID. I don't know.
But yeah, in the news, or I don't know, some source says he didn't get COVID. He tested. So
I just
maybe that
feel
looks
like-
good for him too.
Yeah, it looks good for everybody, right? So I think both sides are benefiting from it because, like I said, I think by getting it and surviving it, Trump is literally putting himself out there and saying, "I've had COVID. It's not that bad." You know.
Yes.
But on the other hand, it's just like Joe Biden can then go around and say, "Well, Trump didn't think COVID was a real thing, and then now he has it." So I think both sides are really benefiting from it.
Maybe it is. Maybe they're teaming up.
I don't know about the teaming up. I don't think they would team up, dude. But I just think that there's a lot going on there. There's a lot to unpack. What do you think?
I feel like I want to say it's a conspiracy. Like, it's a coincidence. Like, what are the odds he got it right after the election? I mean, not election, the debate. And like, out of all the other times, he went to a good number of rallies, right? Not some virtual, some not virtual. And he's been walking around without a mask mostly.
Yeah.
So it's just I'm not sure if it's a coincidence that he got it right after the debate, or he just got it just like any other person, or someone
But what
gave it to
do you
him.
think was the reason for it? Do you think it was the Democrats trying to screw him, or do you think it was himself trying to make
It
himself
could
look
be a Democrat trying to screw him because there's some Democrats that are pretty corrupt, or
better? Joe Biden.
he's he's like a C plus to me, or C.
What's Trump?
I don't know.
What's
I
Trump?
mean, he-
What is Trump as a comedian?
Hey, I'll go with hey, he's really funny. No lie, he's funny as fuck. But it's a mystery to me. Like, why did he get it right now?
Out of all times.
Out of all times, where he's been out publicly, or big rallies.
I feel like there's like this thing, right? Because like somebody told me that 45,000 people got coronavirus or tested positive for COVID today, and I'm just sitting here. I'm like, do you think that's like a thing of like people aren't scared of COVID anymore, so they're trying to pump COVID back in? I feel like COVID is used as a scare tactic. I really, really have like a big, big gut
So
feeling.
what's the agenda for it then?
I feel like I have a gut feeling that after the election, regardless of who wins, it's gonna go away, just magically. Just magically.
Who knows? Or maybe Trump got the virus on purpose from someone, and they already have the cure, and they're like, "We're gonna
But do you
test
think?
it on
Do you
you."
think? Do you think it'll go away after the election?
I don't know, man. I don't think so. I'm gonna say no.
I
Just to
think so.
say, just see. I don't know. See what happens.
I think at inauguration, COVID would have already been finished.
We'll see what happens. I don't know though. I mean, there's rises of cases in other countries now, right?
I don't know, dude.
Like Spain, France,
I just feel like there's like a.
Russia.
I feel like there's too much. What do you call it? It's like people believe in the media too much. Like every time I look at the media and I'm just like, from any side, right? Like I look at Fox News or I look at like CNN, MSNBC, or like some of the big mainstream media
Uh-huh.
sources, or like even like people that quote them and stuff. I'm just sitting there. I'm just like, fuck, dude. Imagine if I believed all the shit they said.
I don't really believe in like CNN. What they
But
say.
like the shit that they say, dude, is just like so over the top. Like every 10 seconds is just like you're gonna die tomorrow type of thing.
Mm.
It's like Trump now passed something that made him a billionaire. Trump has officially
Trump got COVID.
Trump has officially taken girl or women's rights away. Trump has, done this
COVID.
stuff. Trump has COVID and he's gonna die. Give it to everybody. Trump this, Trump that, or like
Or Biden
Biden good,
stutters.
Biden good, or something like that, right? Like
Biden sleeps with children.
Biden Epstein. Yeah.
Biden Epstein.
Do you think Biden was on that plane?
I don't know.
Dude.
I don't know. It doesn't. I don't know. He seems like a family man.
Actually, going back to that Proud Boys thing that we were talking about, that the same group of people that put the Proud Boys in the white supremacist group are the same people that put Joe Rogan as a far right extremist.
Mm.
Where would you put Joe Rogan?
Dude, he's like nowhere.
Nowhere near far
He's,
right.
he's like nowhere anything. Except I think
He's
he's a little
left.
bit left.
Yeah,
He's a
he's
little
left.
left. But
He's definitely left.
he's I guess he's a little bit conservative at times.
I really love Joe Rogan, dude. I love his podcast. But every time I hear people say, "Oh, Joe Rogan, you mean the
alt right.
all right?" I'm like, dude, you're fucking stupid, bro.
Dude, he's not
You're
alt right
fucking dumb.
at
You should-
all.
You should really watch his show, and it'll tell you a lot about who he is because he literally smokes weed on camera.
He
during
does.
his
He
podcast.
does psychedelics.
He does psychedelics, and he's talking about how people shouldn't go for shouldn't go to jail for psychedelics. Any
He's a-
psychedelic,
He's
really.
a cage fighter commentator.
I don't know what that has to do with anything, but okay. He's advocated for universal healthcare multiple times.
And universal drug use.
You know what-
or
You know what puts him over the top that
What?
people really don't like him for, and they call him all right, is transgender stuff.
I guess so. Yeah.
The
The
alphabet people.
the sports when he talks about how transgenders in sports
Yeah.
how
just-
if you don't address that you're transgender, like
feel
you
like-
you keep it secret.
I feel like
it's
he's.
fucked up.
I don't know about all that, but I feel like he has a point though. Like talking in like pure terms is like if a guy goes into the UFC, which did happen, and he fucked up some girl and then he got beat as a female, doesn't he somewhat get an advantage over that girl?
I mean, men kind of have an advantage overall over girls, like strength wise, because we're born differently
Right.
and we're designed differently.
Right. So like, if let's say I were to be a woman tomorrow, I just decide I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and be a woman, and I'm buff and stuff, and I decide to go into the UFC, and now because I'm a woman, I'm gonna be fighting in the women's class.
Yeah,
Is that fair?
it's fair if the opponent agrees with it and they're
Yeah.
like, yeah, fuck
But-
it, I'm down.
But I'm talking about if they have no choice type of thing. Is it fair? And is it fair in a way of like saying, like, is it gonna be a fair fight?
I mean, you're gonna have the advantage because you're a male.
Right.
But who you? I guess is unfair.
But at that point, I feel like that kind of takes that whole like transgender thing where you're kind of saying, well, then those women aren't really women because they're technically still stronger than regular women.
I guess so.
And I feel like that's where Joe Rogan's points really come along, where he's saying like, I feel like in a lot of his podcasts he's saying that like it's kind of scary to assume that a transgender woman is a woman because you have cases where, are you going to trust any man? Because to be considered transgender, you just have to be considering going into the operation, right?
Mhm.
You don't have to actually have the operation yet.
I guess so.
So you could be a transgender with dick.
You could a PPS.
Yeah, the PP, right?
Yes.
So in that case, would you trust somebody let's say a girl with a dick to go in the same restroom as your daughter?
I I guess so. If they don't have any intentions of harming my potential
But
daughter.
that's not given, right? That's not a
No, I mean, I would kind of question it if it was like if you look like a dude, like you go into the girls' restroom, I'd be like, hey, the fuck?
But that's the thing is so in that case you're saying it has to be better defined, right?
Yeah,
Probably like where it has to be like a case of like that person already has to be getting all the treatment and stuff like that,
I guess so.
or
yeah.
has to have already had the operation. But it's
Yeah.
just like, don't you think it's kind of crazy that they're like allowing that to happen, where like you could have a dick and go into the girls' restroom?
I mean, I wouldn't be able to tell if you look like a girl,
I mean, if you look like a girl and have a dick, I'd probably that'd be. But you could tell sometimes they have Adam's apple and all this other stuff.
but some look really good. Like you can't tell.
I'm not gonna say that, Brian, but yeah,
They look really good.
some do, yeah. But I don't know. I just feel like there's a thing there, right? There's like a thing with like that transgender space where like you're just really thinking about the blanket term of it, and it's just like obviously people should be able to do whatever they want with their bodies, right? But at what point does it become a like if somebody looks like a guy, has a dick, but they're going through the transgender process, are you gonna call it? Are you gonna call her her?
I don't know. Does it look like a girl?
Looks like a guy.
Looks like a guy.
Looks like a guy.
I don't know. I wouldn't know. I'll be like, I,
But in Canada, they'll jail you for using the wrong pronouns.
so what the fuck? Do you have to ask?
No. So the first time it's fine, but I guess if they're asking you to say their pronouns as her, and you just bully them by saying the wrong pronoun, it's just then you could go to jail.
Oh,
But-
I have a friend who his coworker they have to address the person as they.
Yeah.
That's weird. I can't do that.
But that's my thing. Don't you think that that's where it becomes the point of like, you could do whatever you want with your life,
But you can't
but then you're also starting to change other people's lives.
you
as
can't
do
really
that, right?
control another person's like mind and assume that you only be called they or he, she, or it.
I want to say it, but okay.
Or I don't know what other pronoun, Zez, or Apache helicopter,
But that's
6'9".
that's my point. Is that don't you think that starts to get into the topic of like when that really becomes an overbearing issue on everybody and not just that person? Let's say smoking weed, right? So let's say because so smoking weed, right? So you're not ruining any like by smoking weed, you're not like changing anybody else's life, right?
No,
Okay.
I guess not.
No, right?
No.
Okay. So now let's say that while you're smoking weed now, everybody in that room had to be okay with it and stay in the same room even if they didn't like the smell. What would you think about that? Like they're not allowed to leave the room because then you'd be offended.
I don't think that's right. If they want to leave the room, they could just leave the room.
And if people want to see somebody as something else because that's what they look like, then they should be allowed to like say something, right?
I guess so. Yeah.
Or like not like you can't force the way somebody thinks or somebody acts.
Yeah.
I guess that's my ultimate point is that I feel like by a lot of the way that things are going, like obviously people want to change who they like gender wise and that's the thing, right? But if I see somebody that looks like a woman or looks like a man or looks like a woman and is not that gender, I'm probably gonna go up to him and say, "Hey, what's up, dude?" or like something like that, right?
If they get mad, I'm like, hey, sorry, you look like a dude.
And next time I'm probably still gonna say "dude" because it comes out because they look
That's
like a dude to me.
just natural to us.
Yeah, and that's where that
And maybe they should just not man up. That's not. I don't know. That's the word. But yeah, man up.
I just feel like there's a whole thing there, dude. That's like a it's a weird area. It's a space that's just like
Space. Shapes, colors.
I feel like I don't know. Where do you land on that transgender issue?
Transgender issue. Man, if I address you as a girl or he or she, and you think it's a mistake, just say, hey, call me they. I'll be like, okay, I'm sorry. You don't have to get so mad about it.
What is the odds that you'll do it again though?
Probably likely. Which I'll be like, hey, I'm sorry. This is just how I'm born, how I'm wired.
So
I don't know how I'm gonna change it.
I'm telling you,
I can't really
it becomes
help your feelings.
it becomes a thing, dude. It really becomes
Are
a
people
thing.
gonna live like that for the rest of their lives?
Yeah,
like,
dude.
Address themselves as
Yeah.
like they or
And you
Zed
know where it starts to get scary is when
when they have children.
no, because I think transgender people can be very fit parents. I wouldn't say that they
No. I meant
well, children addressing them.
I guess so that and giving calling them pronouns or
Yeah. So when children become
different
transgender,
pronouns. Yeah.
right? Like they were talking about, they were giving puberty blockers. So there's drugs called puberty blockers. I don't know what
Yeah,
they're really
yeah.
called. But they block the kids' puberty, I guess,
Okay.
and they'll become non-binary, right?
Okay, I never heard of that, but I only heard about just giving them hormones like to switch genders at a very young
No,
age.
hormones are different. This is puberty blockers, so that they'll in a way they won't be a gender. They'll just be
Dude, that's not good. They're not gonna mature. They're not gonna be like,
no. But it gets worse. And then this doctor came out and he said, but these puberty blockers don't do anything to the child. The child will still go through puberty.
so it's a placebo.
No, it actually blocks the puberty. I'm just like thinking in my head, I'm like, so if you're blocking it when he doesn't even go in it, or she doesn't even go in it, when does the puberty start? When does it occur?
They're not gonna mature.
And I feel like there should be like a law about like kids that are like below the age of 14 or 13.
18. I feel like 18 is good.
Yeah, I want to push it a little bit, but the 18 because they're that's the
18
age of
because-
consent.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, I feel like as a kid, you shouldn't be allowed to make that decision.
Yeah.
And
Or you shouldn't have your parents make that
I don't think
decision.
anybody's allowed to make the decision at 14 because that's gonna
Because-
affect the rest of your life.
That's gonna make you how's it say, underdeveloped,
No, I just
probably
feel like
not.
it's gonna change your whole life.
low key.
It'll change a kid's whole life. If he's taking hormones from the time that he was 13 and then he turns 20 and decides that he doesn't want to do this anymore, he's taking 7 years worth of hormones.
Damn.
He has tits already.
Titties. And then he can't come.
I don't know about all that.
Okay.
But okay. But yeah, you get my point, right? It's a weird spectrum of stuff that's going on there, and it's just like I personally feel if you're 18 and you
Do whatever you want.
go be a good human being. That's all that matters to me, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't really care if anybody's transgender or not. If I smash a transgender, I don't think I'll care. Just don't let me know that you're transgender.
I'll be like, fuck it.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know the difference, but actually, I wouldn't know. Actually, I'm gonna be like Creed. There's a chance that a man might have slipped in there.
Creed is my favorite character.
But yeah, there's a whole issue there, dude. That's like it's a weird topic, right?
Yes, sir. Very weird.
Yeah. What was the other topic we were talking about? We talked about the debates,
COVID.
COVID, Trump COVID. And we talked about transgender stuff.
I think that was it.
I want to talk about more things.
Yeah, I don't know what else. Biden. That was that.
I love Joe Biden.
You love Joe Biden?
I love Joe Biden.
He's a odd fella. I wish Bernie was up there. Bernie would be pretty cool against Trump. It'd be interesting.
I really like Bernie as a person. I just don't feel he's a good politician.
Is it because he's just the way he is? He's very caring.
Bernie's like that cousin that you have that's a fuck up.
A fuck up?
Yeah,
I don't think he's a fuck up.
dude.
I think he's a pretty intelligent man.
No, he's not.
I think he's a pretty intelligent
There's
man.
like this thing about him, right? Like he didn't really have a real job until he came into Congress, which was like at the age of 40 or something, 45 or something.
Really?
Yeah, so he was a carpenter, and I guess he had like a bunch of complaints because he sucked at it.
Huh.
And he just didn't have a job since then. He was like back and forth between like random jobs.
I
He
think
just wasn't good at anything.
I think that's in that experience what made him become a congressman. Is it congressman or Congress? Getting into Congress and try to help people in that situation.
That or he was just like, I can't do anything else. I might as well become a congressperson.
Nah, I believe that he was trying to help people out.
I believe what I said.
I believe what I said. My balls are
I
itchy.
just don't see Bernie Sanders as a smart person that people paint him out to be. I just feel like he's a person that like got a lot of clout out of nowhere, and then because of that clout, he he is where he is right now. And
Or Andrew Yang, we dope.
Andrew Yang is a different. I feel like I would have liked
He'd be
Andrew Yang.
dope.
He's smart. You see, that guy's smart.
He's a CEO of something, I think.
Yeah, you see, Andrew Yang to me is smart. I wouldn't consider Bernie Sanders smart. I would consider Andrew Yang.
I think
smart.
Bernie Sanders is smart. Maybe he's just getting old.
No, he's dumb.
I think he's pretty good at some things.
Yelling. That's it.
Yelling.
Yeah, but Andrew
But-
Yang.
Andrew Yang is
He's a
pretty
real
smart
deal.
person.
I just feel like I wish he would have had different policy points about some other stuff, but
That's
ultimately, I feel like he was very competent. But with that being said, I feel like we haven't had a competent president in like decades. Like, I don't think our last 10 presidents were competent.
What about JFK?
I think he's after 10. Let's count them. Trump, Obama, Bush, Clinton, Bush.
Dude, you can name all of them? I don't think I remember anyone after Bush.
Fuck, was it
Jimmy
Ford?
Carter?
Jimmy Carter was before Ford?
I don't know.
I know Ford was in there somewhere.
Nixon.
No, Nixon was way before.
Oh.
And then Ronald Reagan was in there too. Lyndon Johnson was way before.
Carter.
Carter was in there before Bush. And then Ronald Reagan before that.
Ronald Reagan. That's a homeboy, I think.
And then before that, before that, fuck it, dude. I don't know, fucking bunch of people. Anyways, I like Kennedy. Oh no, what did you think, JFK?
Kennedy?
JFK.
JFK.
He seemed pretty
Kennedy.
competent.
He seemed pretty cool. He was a young man.
No, he seemed competent.
He's a young man.
He seemed competent.
He's pretty cool.
He seemed like somebody that knew what he was doing, or like actually was able to do the job. I feel like probably since him, we haven't had a real competent president.
Reagan was pretty badass. He was in movies.
Okay, before Reagan then, or after Reagan?
I don't know.
Since Reagan, we didn't have a good president.
Is Bill good? He wore a tutu.
You see that? There's this painting of Bill Clinton in Jeffrey Epstein's mansion or his island or whatever, and it's Bill Clinton in a dress.
There's way more powerful people than the president. Then
Yeah, dude, I was just like, fuck.
that's scary.
I really, really have a high feeling that Bill Clinton was in that plane. Like he went to that island
To fuck.
to do those things. Bill Clinton, I don't know. Doesn't he give you like some kind of weird vibe sometimes?
Hillary Clinton gave
Hillary Clinton was something else, dude. She was horrible, dude. She gave me evil vibes though. She gave me straight evil vibes. Like she was like evil. She gave me like the type of vibe to go to like a children's hospital and blow it up.
I don't know about that. Just,
Type of thing. Like I feel like she killed
gave
people.
she gave me rule the world vibes.
Yeah, kill people.
She didn't give me the vibe of killing people. She gave me
How is she gonna rule the world if she hasn't killed anybody?
she's gonna enslave them and torture them,
Which is worse, dude?
not killing.
I feel like I'd rather be killed than enslaved.
But that was the vibes I was getting.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it's just all bad, dude. I feel like the way that things are going. I also feel like people are indoctrinated early on. I feel like school indoctrinates people. You know, there's like this. There's this thing where teachers are forcing parents to sign something that says that they won't listen to their kids' classes.
I think you told me that. That's true?
Yeah, some teachers are doing it.
Well, they could go suck my
And in
dick.
California, there's a law that you can't record the teacher without her consent, or you can't record anybody else without their consent. So if a parent hears something, they can't record it without being in trouble for recording it.
I mean, that's kind of like school, like real life school. Like the parents aren't there, technically.
Yeah, but that's where it gets to me because I'm just like, imagine where your kids.
But at the
are
same
learning-
time, like if a teacher says that, I mean that means they're hiding something.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's where it comes from me. It's just like that. Like, what should you be scared of? You should just be teaching kids.
You should be just pretty confident, dude. If a teacher says that, I'll be sus. I'll be like, I kind of want to listen in.
Yeah, but exactly. Yeah, I'm just like kind of want to hear what you're doing now, because I feel like they're indoctrinating them, dude. I feel like there's a real indoctrination of kids, and probably both sides. I feel like if you go to like the middle of the country where it's like all red and stuff, I feel like a lot of those teachers are telling kids to like vote red, or like believe stuff
Do
like
you
that.
think we should homeschool our children?
I feel like in 2 years you should homeschool your children. I feel like if this online stuff goes on, I feel like there should be no other reason for us to have an education system because people should just be homeschooling their children at that point. Or if they can, obviously some people don't have like time because they work and stuff like that. But I just feel like your kids aren't getting the right education that they should get. You know, like they have the Common Core. You know, there's this thing that forces kids to multiply a really long way.
Yeah,
It's like a
it's dumb.
7 steps or some shit.
Yeah,
Somebody did a video, like it was a funny video, it was like a meme video, right? Where they were going through that whole thing, and I guess in the time that it took to fucking solve a problem like 7 times 4, this guy was able to finish it, go get a bowl of cereal, come back, and the teacher was still doing that shit the way that they thought.
yeah.
It's so stupid, dude.
I think they're just being forced to do it. I feel like some teachers.
Oh,
think
yeah,
it's
no,
pretty
totally.
stupid too.
But I feel like that's part of the Common Core thing.
Yeah,
I don't like it personally. I feel like that's dumb.
I haven't seen it actually.
I feel like there was aspects of it. So somebody like when I first heard about it, people were like talking about it really well, and they were
Wait, is
like,
this nationwide?
it's nationwide, yeah.
Oh man.
People were talking about it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's so nice because like instead of teaching kids like theory and stuff like that, they're gonna be doing projects." I'm like, "Oh, that's pretty cool then." But the Common Core, what it did is that it's literally in the name, right? Common Core.
Yeah,
It's one common area where every kid's gonna be, right?
yeah,
So if you got kids, so like when you go to school, right? You got the stupid kids, you got the somewhat smart kid, like you got the average grade kids, you know. You got
and then the
B's
gifted
C's,
kids.
and you get the gifted kids that are up here and they're like really smart, right? So what it does is that it'll bring those kids at the bottom up, and it'll bring those kids at the top down, and it'll actually bring the kids in the middle lower than what they did because that bar is actually set
So
to lower.
that problem, those like math problems, are supposed to make kids dumber.
No, they're not supposed to make kids dumber, but if you're a really gifted child, I remember when I was in school, even the way that I was learning it and it wasn't Common Core yet was way too fucking slow. And at some point, I was able to do all the math in my head, and that the teacher ended up recommending me to some like AP classes, right? Because the class was way too slow. But what they want to do now is they want to make sure that every talented kid is now in those classes with the slower kids. So what's gonna happen is that those talented kids are gonna get really bored because all that shit's way too easy. So they're not gonna learn as much as they would if they were like challenged. So what's going on is that you're not challenging kids anymore, and kids need to be like certain kids need to be challenged. So I just feel like that's the big issue there because it's making sure that those kids don't learn too much, and that's a problem. And that's why you have like I remember when I graduated. I don't want to like talk shit because they're probably listening to this, or there's someone probably. But I know some pretty stupid people that had a 4.0 GPA or above 4.0 GPA in high school.
I didn't get a 4.0.
I had like an average of a 2.6 or something like that.
I got 3.0.
I had like a 2.6, right? In high school. And it was just because I just never went to class. I would skip class like every single day. I think I went to like one class a week on average for each class. So like with the periods, so 6 periods. So I go 6 classes I'd only do 6 hours of class every week. And I remember every now and then I used to be able to I used to walk to school, and on my way to school I used to stop by my friend's house. While I was there, we used to chill at his house, eat food, watch some stuff, do some other stuff, and then I would come into school by lunchtime. And then
We couldn't do that.
no, we couldn't either technically, but I guess I just did it enough times that they stopped caring, right?
Oh yeah.
So then, because I was so bored in classes, keep in mind that I still passed most of my classes. 98% of my classes I passed them. I think I only got 1 D and 1 F my whole time in high school. And this is with all these classes missed. Anyways, so then that happened. And then my senior year, I did almost the exact same thing, except I went to a couple more classes and like the teachers knew me and stuff like that. And everything was just easier because the teachers knew me. So they were giving me easy grades and telling me what to come to class and stuff. That I was able to get a 4.3 GPA for my senior year, both semesters. That's how easy high school was. That's what I'm saying. I know so many people that don't know a shit from what I remember. They didn't know shit. I knew more than them, even not going to class. And they had like 4.3, 4.5 GPAs. And I'm just sitting there, I'm just
So
like...
just get rid of the Common Core.
I think they should get rid of the Common Core, yeah.
Stick to regular shit.
Or not stick to regular... Obviously, there should be a change in the way school is done.
I'm not in the education field. I wouldn't fucking know anything about it.
Me and my friend were having this discussion too, that there's like this problem right now that's going on with school is that they're making classes easier because they're making the passing grade lower, or they're making the passing grade high, so the teachers are making the class easier. So right now we have a 70% is passing, right? Why is 70% passing?
I don't know.
Why isn't it 50?
I don't know. I don't know.
And that's,
Isn't it different in other countries too?
I don't know. I don't know how other countries are doing it. I'm just saying if I'm looking at it from my perspective, I'm thinking about it. I'm like, why the fuck is it 70% passing and not? Like, who came up with that number?
70% is a good percentage. That's like more than 50%.
Yeah, but by doing that, now teachers are doing curves, so everything's easier.
I guess.
So why wouldn't teachers just make a 50% like one thing 50% is passing, no curves at all?
Maybe just to
Make the
make
classes
students work harder.
No, but then there would be no point of a curve. Every student nowadays they expect a curve. That's what I'm saying, dude. It's just, they're making everybody dumb, dude. And it's just like, what are you looking at, bro?
Time. We're at almost 1 hour, like a minute to an hour.
But I just feel like they're making everybody dumb by doing that, dude. They're just like, I feel like kids in high school are getting the. Are these peanut butter?
No, they're apple cider cookies.
Okay.
They're really good. They're really Dankarinos, Artichinos.
Anyways, but yeah, so I just feel like I feel like they should do that, and I feel like one of the things that the United States should move into is really pushing for people to join trades like mechanic or like a electrician or something like that. Like they should like so in the United States right now, you have a lot of people in like school and stuff like that that they look at trades like a bad thing or like they look at people like join trades as like being stupid or like they're people that don't know how to do anything, right? But I mean, I studied for 4 years, and you look at the people that have like mechanic backgrounds or electrician backgrounds or anything like that, and they're much smarter than any of the fucking engineers I know.
Honestly, I think they're smarter than me.
Yeah, they're probably smarter
I
than
feel
me.
like I haven't learned shit.
And that's my whole thing is that I feel like, and I don't want to cap on any majors or anything like that, but I just feel like there's a good portion of people that go to college just to go to college because that's what they're told.
Yep.
And I feel like you would have a more successful career if instead of going to college you studied a trade like being an electrician. And I feel like the country as a whole would be in a better state because we'd have a higher supply of people that could actually do jobs like that
They make a good amount of money too.
and they make a good amount of money. You know how much linemen make? You know what a lineman is?
Like for bridges.
No, linemen is like people that go up in the like the poles, the high
Oh,
voltage poles,
yeah.
and they fix them or they like cut them and all that shit. Like they do all that stuff.
I'm good. Like 6 figures.
Yeah, easily. So I was talking to my friend, and basically, so some people become a lineman. I guess they get sponsored by a company. They go to school. They go to the school by the company, and they become an apprentice for a couple of years. And after they're done with their apprenticeship, they get paid much more, right? But as you're an apprentice, you get paid like 85K
Damn.
a year, right? And then the more you do it, you start getting paid like 150K, and then they still add on overtime. And for overtime for them is actually a time and a half still. So they get paid even more. And there was this specific case that he told me about where he said that he knows somebody whose dad is literally right now being a
I think you told
contractor
me, yeah.
as a lineman,
Yeah.
and he's getting paid upwards of $500,000 a year
Yeah.
doing that
Damn.
because there's so much need for that. Imagine if people just like, imagine if teachers instead of telling students, "Oh yeah, go study this bullshit," they said, "Oh, you could do something with your hands." Because a lot of students like, if I really went back in time and I thought about it, I don't like school. I have
Me
like a
neither.
really
Me
big,
neither.
I have a really big problem with school. I just don't like it.
I fall asleep.
Yeah. Dude, I remember this guy used to fucking, there used to be Brian in class.
Fall asleep all the time.
Dude, I remember that
couldn't
one
pay
time.
attention.
Did Martinez scream at you that one time? I think it was you.
No.
Huh?
No. No one screamed at me for sleeping.
Oh, okay. I don't remember then.
Yeah, but I always slept.
Yeah, but
I get bored.
yeah, dude. So I just feel like instead of giving up on those kids that don't like school, just teach them a trade or like show them a trade or show them something that they might like, and then that'll push that student to be successful in that trade, and then by being successful in that trade, they'll be able to contribute to society. Instead of right now, the way that they do it is a kid doesn't come to class or he's doing bad in class, he's automatically a fuck up. And by being a fuck up, now that kid's thrown out of school, and he could reroute into many fucked up things, or maybe some good things. Sometimes they become successes, or like rappers or something. And a lot of times what that leads into is gangs or drugs or slanging or anything along those lines. When instead of actually unmotivating the kid, the teacher could have motivated the kid to do something that wasn't related to school. But school's not the only fucking way. There's other ways,
A lot of ways.
D-Way. Why are these cookies so fucking good?
It's good, huh? It's from Trader Joe's.
I like those more. The pop.
Yeah.
But I don't know, dude. What do you think?
Everyone needs to chill.
I feel like I talk so much for this podcast.
It's okay.
I did.
I'm
Huh?
pretty tired. I had a long day.
I talked about that. Huh?
Yeah. I tried to talk, and then it got to an hour. Then I started. My energy level just started to go down.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But,
We had a good episode, I think.
I don't know. I gotta watch it.
Okay.
But,
I'll send it to you.
You want to finish?
I will finish.
All right, let's wrap up, guys.
Okie dokies. We're like mostly on YouTube now, so
Only on YouTube.
only on YouTube. Only on YouTube, but that's okay. I don't
We're only
mind.
on YouTube, but we're showing you our pretty faces and my fucked up arm. So,
Follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
yeah,
at
guys.
BBCS Podcasts.
Follow us on Instagram. Please give us a like,
And-
subscribe to our stuff,
Yeah.
comment on our stuff, and also hit us up if you want to be on the podcast yourselves.
Yes. I wonder who watches it. Please comment and say hello on YouTube.
If
the
you decide to
YouTube
come,
episode,
if you decide to come and do this in person,
it's far as fuck.
it's
if
far.
You're in LA.
but we don't follow social distancing rules.
What? Kinda.
I'm fucking around. We'll follow social distancing rules and all that bullshit if you feel like it's necessary. But yeah, hit us up if you guys want to be on the show and what topics you want to talk about if you have a preference. Thanks for watching, guys.
Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.